Hi there. In this video, we'll continue to look at how to solve quadratic equations. I've taken example 67 from the review, and we are supposed to find the solutions to the equation x squared minus 10x minus 1 equals 0. Just a quick word by way of comparing and contrasting the example that we're faced with now versus the problem that we were given previously. In the last example, things were pretty straightforward because it was easy enough to take square roots. The problem was sort of handed to us as a perfect square, and so we could just go from there. In this example, it's not at all straightforward to figure out what the square root of this quantity is. So we've got a little bit of work to do before we can get around to taking square roots. And so with that, let's see if we can make things a little nicer. We'll take x squared, which we're given, and negative 10x's, and we'll split them up evenly into two piles, knowing that our goal here is to make a square so that we can find its square root. In order to complete this square, as people say, we need to figure out how many units are needed to make that into a perfect square. So let's figure this out. The x squared tile has length x and width x, and we can write that all the way around. The width of this yellow tile must be negative 5, so that the length times the width equal negative 5x. Same observation over here. And now we're looking at a width of negative 5 and a height of negative 5 for this blue box. And if you multiply its length and width together, you get 25. So the number that completes the square and makes it into a perfect square that will be easy to analyze is 25. And for that reason, I'm now going to add 25 to both sides. And that will be a beautiful number for us and make this problem easy to solve. The 1 is sort of in the way, so I'm going to add that to both sides as well and get that out of my hair. If I had hair, I'd get it out of my hair. So now we've got x squared minus 10x plus 25. The minus 1 and plus 1 cancel out. And we then get on the right side, we get 0 plus 25 plus 1, which is 26. Okay, now that's a little bit curious why we did that. At this point, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But the nice thing is that we've now got a perfect square. The width of the box is x minus 5. The height of the box is also x minus 5. And so we can write this expression here on the left side of the equation as the product of its length and width. And keep the 26 just like it is. And the lovely thing there is that we've really got x minus 5 squared. And now it becomes clear why this was a genius thing to do, because now we can just take square roots. And we know that we can get the positive version of the square root or the negative square root version. Either one will do, knowing that when we square either quantity, we get the number 26. Okay, so with that, it's become clear now that when we subtract x from 5, we might get the square root of 26, or we might get the opposite of that quantity. And we're one step away from being done. Let's add 5 to both sides, and we get the quantity 5 plus the square root of 26. If you add 5 to both sides of this equation, you get the quantity 5 plus the negative square root of 26, or 5 minus square root of 26. And there you have it. In general, the solutions to a quadratic equation are sort of funky. They will involve weird numbers like the square root of 26, unless the problem is designed to be very easy and clean. So you have it. 5 plus the square root of 26 is a solution to this equation. 5 minus the square root of 26 is also a solution to this equation. If you like, you can use a calculator to find a decimal value for this quantity, substitute it in for x, and make sure that the answer is 0. Do the same thing for this decimal, and make sure that you get 0. And you'll see that both of them are indeed correct. Hope that helps, and thanks for watching.